Hello everybody, this is SB, also known as Mr. Google, and today I will bring you guys a little bit different than you might have been used from me as of now. And it's going to be about Bitcoin mining and Litecoin mining. You probably all have heard the news, the newspapers, even on television, for people who aren't really into Bitcoin or something like that. Well, I will explain you guys a little bit how to do this and how you can start as well using your gaming PC if you have one. You can even use iPhones or something else or something less powerful, but I'm not getting into that. But for today I will show you what is possible and how you can start to do this as well as a hobby using your video card. There are a few ways to mine for Bitcoin or Litecoin. I prefer to use my video card to mine Litecoins and then later on exchange them for example Bitcoin. Well, as you can see on this screen, this is a little bit of a sneak peek of what I will show you in a little bit. As you can see, I have 0.3 Bitcoin on my mining pool. You need a pool to be able to mine, and you need something else, which is CG Miner. Well, what is CG Miner? You need to download this. I will place all the links required in the description, but you need a mining program to be able to mine with script. What is script? Well, this is something which you will use later on, but let's get started at the beginning, which is make an account at a mining pool. Well, for me, I am using this mining pool, givemecoins.com. This used to be givemeltc.com, but it changed around a little bit. You have to go here. For this video, to get Bitcoin, I will be using Litecoin. You can exchange them using stock exchanges, for example. Here you can see one Litecoin is worth 5.7 euro as of now, or for example 0.01377 Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin itself used to be about $200 1 or 2 months ago, if I am correct. And yesterday the American government decided to legalize Bitcoin, probably in the near future. That's why Bitcoin was in the news, and it skyrocketed all the way up to, I think, $900 was its maximum. There are other sources where Bitcoin is worth a little bit more, as here for example, but for now I will only show the values listed on BTC-e.com. Also will provide this link in the description. But let's get back to where you have to go to, which is you have to make an account at givemecoins.com. You can use other pools as well, but for this video I will be using this. You click on register now, then you create your username, email, you confirm your email, password again, and a PIN number. You hit register, you get a confirmation email as well. After you've done that, you can go to this website and go back, log in. You can see all different kinds of stuff, estimations, your hash rate, which you have been hashing on. Hashing is kind of the speed at which you get coins in the fee, for example. And on the top you can see your balance, you can see support and all that other good stuff you wish to see. And after you have signed up, you can go to support, click getting started, which will bring you over here. And in this list you have different pools, which you will need to keep opening your windows to copy and paste later on. I am living in Europe, so I'm using this one, for example, which you will need to place after installing CG Miner, which you can download from GiveMeCoins as well. Getting started at this specific spot. Please download this version or not higher, because if you use higher versions you cannot use your video card. Mainly AMD video cards are better suited for mining than, for example, Nvidia cards. You can use Nvidia cards as well. I haven't done that before, so I cannot get into details with that as well. But just to give you guys an example, let me get to the correct page. this is some sort of a Wikipedia page, but it's for Litecoin. I will use Litecoin as a reference just to see a hash rate. Hash rate represents the speed. For example, I will press here AMD, and let's go to, let me type in 7950. I have a 7950 video card. The hash rate is this bar. This is the GPU clock. This is the GPU memory. And these are the settings people used, and the operating system, and so on. In this list you can find your specific video card with some sort of an idea how to get your specific hash rate. For now I am at about 580 kilohash or something like that. It used to be higher, but I cannot remember my correct GPU and or memory clocks. When you are optimizing your hash rate to be as high as possible, you can mess around with the GPU clocks. Higher isn't always better for mining, so you can overclock it or underclock it, and sometimes an underclock makes it work much better than an overclock. But I will not get into details on that for now, but let's get started. So at this point you should have installed the CG miner. Use your the one you need to use. For example, I am using Windows 7, so you will have to get one of these, install that, and leave them somewhere on your PC. After you have done that, you can open up a WordPad. It's as simple as that. And at the start of your WordPad, you'll use this CG miner with / script, etc., etc. Use this, and at this specific place you will fill in your specific server. For me that was this one after signing up, and for you that might be something else, but let's continue. After the you put your worker name, I will explain that as well, and your password and your thread currency. Yeah, you don't have to fill this in, but you can. I will explain later. This one is a very important one. The Y stands for intensity. Intensity 20 means caution, your video card can get very hot or overheated. Mine does not, because I removed the side panel and it doesn't get above 60 or 70 degrees, but it's normal that your video card can run to 100 degrees if you place intensity 20 there. So start off with, for example, 8 or 10 and work your way up and check if your video card is not getting too hot. With your, for example, I am using a HYS video card at these current clocks. That's not my gaming overclock, that's different. And here you can have some information about this, but this will show my temperatures. I'm sure you guys probably have your own programs for this. For example, MSI Afterburner, the overclocking tool, or something else. Let's not get into detail as well, but this is just a simple notepad. You fill this all in. To be sure to not submit something which will not help you, you will fill in no submit still in the end, but the only things required are these ones, your worker name and passwords, and the intensity. The G stands for how many GPUs, and the W stands for how many bit your video card is. But for me, for example, mining all day long with my video card, not calculating or factoring in power cost, I will get about $2 or $3 mining Litecoin each day. If you have multiple video cards or something like that, you can expect way more, but let's get back to the hashing itself. So now on, you should have installed CG Miner, you should have created your account over here, you should have this specific page. At the top here you can see quickly how much each is worth for now. Yeah, this is my username. I might change this or make a new account before uploading, but if you try to mine with my workers, you will give me money basically, so don't be stupid and create your own account and your own workers. I will try to find the specific settings with workers. For example, this is one of my workers. I've left it on, for example, and Here you have normally your name. Don't forget to also place in the dot over here. It's important. If you don't do that, it will not work. This is your password. You can fill something up here. It's not very important, because if someone is using your worker, he's basically mining for you, so that will give him free money. You can also purchase mining, but I'm just making this video to hobby mine, so to say. I'm not making a lot of money with this, but after the great news yesterday, and the American government is probably going to make Bitcoin legal, cryptocurrency, to pay something or to buy something or something like that. Let's get to work. Well, after you made your own worker over here, you've completed this one, but you have not saved it yet. Well, you have to go to File, click Save As. You have to be sure that you click Save As all kinds of files. And after you created the file name, behind that you place a dot, you make it a .bat or .bat file, and then you click Save. Don't forget to do that, otherwise it's just a WordPad and it will not work. Well, once you have done that, you also, if you're using an AMD video card which is optimized for mining, you can check your own specific expected hash rate over here. For example, I'll just give a comparison. Well, I have a not a bad but a mediocre to maybe a little bit better AMD video card. For example, if you use NVIDIA, and let me find the Titan to give a comparison. EVA GTX Titan will give about 485 kilohash. Well, my video card for gaming is not as good as a Titan from NVIDIA, but it is faster for mining. So that's maybe a nice comparison. But you can use with CUDA Miner for NVIDIA, but I do not own an NVIDIA video card at this time. But after you've done so, using an AMD video card, you have to download the AMD App SDK, so you can use the mining stuff with CG Miner. It's not required, but I think you need to download this. I'm not an expert in this, but I'm just doing this as a hobby, so please don't flame me if I say anything or something wrong, but this video will get you into mining. You download this for your specific driver and your video card, and after you have done so, the only thing you have to do to get started mining is you go to your CG Miner and you use your, I created a, let me check, this is my example. Well, this is something you need. I switched around the intensity to 1 just for the sake of this video. After you've made your worker, you download the CG Miner. You can, it's optimized to close Skype and all of the other visual stuff before going to mine, because your PC on high intensities will get very slow. It feels very slow because it's using all the power of your video card. And you can use this, and that will start your miner. You give it a few seconds or maybe 10. After you have done so, it will take a little while to start, and in this this is actually the script in the works. So from this you can see your average kilo hashing. This is low because I'm using the lowest intensity possible, which will not require the power and use of my video card all that much. Here you can see the last 5 seconds. In here you can also specify different intensities, not using the script. You're bypassing the script. For example, if you press the G for GPU, it will bring you to this menu. You can enable, disable, change the intensity. You can restart the worker, or you can change settings. For example, I can press the Y button and I can say intensity 20. I'm not going to press enter because that will crash my video, but I can change it to, for example, 2. That probably doesn't matter that much. I will do that, and it will change to 2. After you change it to 2, you will see my kilo hashing will go up a little bit, just because this is a kilo hash rate of 18 instead of 17. You don't expect to notice the difference, but if I place it on 20 with my side panel from my PC off, it will go up to 580 kilo hash or something like that. After you've done so, you can leave it right here, or you can press this. You press spacebar and you will see all the accepts, rejects, etc. Well, just for some testing, a quick look to see if it's run stable is to check your GPU temperature over here. You can also see the fan RPM, and let's get to the important stuff. At this the A, you can see accepted 3, rejected 0, hardware error 0. If you get a lot of hardware errors, your GPU is probably clocked the wrong way, or it's clocked way too high, so it gets errors. So you should not have hardware errors. It's normal to have about 1 to 2% or something like that rejected work, but it shouldn't be all that much. Well, after you have done so, your PC will start to mine. You can close it, you leave it on at night, or when you're not gaming. You can even use it when you are gaming at a low intensity. I've played Battlefield 3 with intensity 13 on my video card, and it still ran on ultra. So it didn't burden it as much as you would think. But the great thing about this is it will get you some free bitcoins or litecoins without having to invest, which led for me to be able to change around, or it's basically a little bit like stock marketing. But as you can see, if I bought Bitcoin 2 days ago for $200 and I had about 100, for every Bitcoin, so 100 times, I would get the increase of 200 to 544. Well, let's say 500. It's fluctuating all the time, but I would have made more than double my money just by investing in Bitcoins. Obviously it can go down, it can go up, etc. But for me it's a fun thing to do when I'm not gaming. I can leave my PC on and it does not cost me power. It's included here as long as I'm not using all that much power or something like that. It will not increase my power bill. So that's just to give you guys a little bit basic info on how to get started to mine some Bitcoin or Litecoin. I suggest you mine Litecoin if you're using your video card instead of the special ASIC miners which are out there as well. This will get you started and probably may be interested to get a little bit more in depth. But this is just a basic beginner guide to get you working on this. Alright guys, so you're now set up all to mine, and you can track how many Litecoins or Bitcoins, whatever you're mining, you have right over here. But you can see here auto payment at 1.1 Litecoin. Well, if you want to get paid, you have to download the Litecoin client. Well, this is my wallet, my Litecoin wallet. It looks exactly the same as Bitcoin. It's just an alternate coin for Bitcoin. They say most people call Bitcoin the gold and Litecoin the silver. And when you're using a video card like me as a gamer with just one video card, I mine Litecoin and I trade them for Bitcoin. But this is the same for Bitcoin. If you'd like to mine Bitcoin with your video card, which is totally not effective, you can do so, and this will probably be enough for you to do so with this tutorial. But in this wallet you will have to download this client. I will place a link down in the description. It will take a quite long while if you're using Bitcoin or Litecoin for the first time, but will basically render a blockchain or a very long blockchain which will require internet connection, and that can take quite a while using this for the first time. So I'd suggest placing this in the background. Download your Litecoin client, your wallet. This is basically your wallet. You can also back up this on some other hard drive, because if your PC crashes with your Litecoin wallet on it with all your coins in, the coins are basically gone. That's the fact. You cannot recover that unless you have a backup wallet. But there's just one more thing I need to explain before you start mining, and that is you have to take this specific command. You copy it. I will place a link down in the description, or just this command. You go to your Windows button, you paste it over here, and you press enter. What this will do, it will make your CG miner mine with higher thread currencies, so you can basically get a higher hash rate. It's not required, but if you use this you can have higher thread currencies. So I think I covered it all, most of it at least. So this will get you started to mine some Bitcoin if you wish to do so, just for a hobby, because this isn't all that effective compared to specific miners or just smart people who are good at stocks and something like that. But so to say, I would really like to thank you guys for watching, and please let me know what you think about this video. It's a little bit different than my gaming commentaries, but I will upload those mostly. But just because Bitcoin was in the news, I was wondering, well, most people using YouTube and stuff, they probably have heard of Bitcoin before, and they were thinking, well, what's Bitcoin? Well, that's why I chose to do this video. So I will hope to see you next time, and as said before, please let me know if you really enjoyed this video, and I'll hope to see you next time.